Hello, everybody, and welcome to CCCLXVI, the podcast where we talk about the last movies we watched from the last week. Did I say it faster this week, Benji, or no?
I have no idea. I think maybe you did. I don't know.
We talked about last week how I said it pretty fast.
I got it. You can go back on the recording and you can time it or whatever, then just time it this time.
No, that's too much work, Benji.
Okay, just...
I think I said it pretty fast this week. Okay, so on to CCCLXVI. Instead of going into the movies, we said that we were going to have some follow-up on the Oscars, because they happened last week, and we're going to have some follow-up on the Oscars. We had three things we wanted to win. We wanted Sylvester Stallone to win Best Supporting Actor. He didn't, so we're pretty upset about that. We're not really that upset, because, it's not us. It's not like, it doesn't really matter to us at all. It's just we sort of wanted him to win, and he didn't. And so we're sort of sad, right, Benji?
Uh-huh.
Sure. Yeah.
We're sad.
We're sad. Very sad. As you can tell, we're heartbroken by the Academy rejecting Sylvester Stallone's rightful win. What was I going to talk about next? Oh, yeah. Leo won, finally. Yes, oh, yeah, he was in our list, actually. He appeared in our list, yeah. And so did Sylvester Stallone this week. They both appeared. Ennio Morricone also won an Oscar for The Hateful Eight. He did not appear on our list, I don't think, but I'm glad he did win, because it was pretty good. He did The Good, the Bad, the Ugly, my favorite movie. I said whenever we actually reviewed The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, it wasn't my favorite movie. It now is my favorite movie. So, we've talked enough about who we wanted to win and everything. Also, Spotlight won Best Picture. That's sort of interesting, First one in 60 years or whatever. Only win two Oscars and still win Best Picture. So, we've said enough about the Oscars and everything. Anyways, I was overall pretty pleased with the Oscars. I mean, other than Sylvester Stallone not winning, but that wasn't too bad. He was still great and Rocky and everything, so... What do you think, Benji? Were you pretty pleased with the Oscars, or...?
I liked him. Leo won.
You're glad Leo won?
Yes.
Yeah, me too. On to the movies. So, this week, we actually had a themed week because it was the Oscars. We were only going to watch Best Picture winners. So, the first movie we watched this week was Rocky, starring Sylvester Stallone. Which is why we wanted Sylvester Stallone to win so much, was because of his performance in Rocky, and how he didn't win for that. He probably should have, in my opinion. But Rocky was up against some very tough competition that year, and I'm actually quite surprised that it did win Best Picture. I mean, we watched All the President's Men, right? And that movie was great, right, Benji?
Uh-huh.
Which one do you think should have won, Rocky or All the President's Men?
I don't know. Don't ask me these questions. I like them both too much.
Which one more?
I don't know.
You have to choose, Benji. You have to choose, Benji. Come on. Come on, Benji. Just say the thing.
Rocky.
Okay, I have to agree with you. All the President's Men is the more Oscar-y of those, but I mean, Rocky is Rocky. Rocky is this sort of film that it's just so inspiring, and it's just such a great move. I really enjoyed it. What else was I going to say? So, Rocky, if you haven't seen Rocky, which we rather surprised if you haven't, or at least don't know what it is about. It's about a boxer who's very poor, and he is challenged by the best boxer in the whole world, and they're going to fight. And so, it's on this guy named Rocky, and so what he does is he starts training and everything, and then he meets this girl, and he starts dating the girl or whatever, and then so Rocky goes up against the guy, and they fight, and they get to the 15th round, and he just, and they fight, and so, yeah. Pretty inspiring movie. The training montage was, of course, a scene that we have to mention that was really good. So yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10. What would you give it out of 10, Benji?
10 out of 10 too, because I like it a lot.
It was a pretty good movie. I enjoyed it, but I don't know.
I may give all the films this week 10 out of 10 because,
they're all best. They all won Best Picture, so they are all pretty good. So yes, Rocky, pretty good. Sylvester Stallone gives a great performance. Everyone in that film gives a great performance. Sylvester Stallone's writing for Rocky is also pretty good. So, anyways, yes, on to the second film this week was Unforgiven, starring Clint Eastwood. We looked for which westerns have won Best Picture, and we found Unforgiven, and was like, oh yeah, Clint Eastwood, let's watch that one. So we did, and it was pretty good. Unforgiven is about a retired killer dude named Clint Eastwood.
Common thing.
What?
It's a common thing. There's a retired, bounty person.
The cliche of retired person has to go on one last job. And that in this partakes in this cliche. But anyways, I like it. I like that cliche, even though it's a bit tiring to repeatedly see that over and over and over again. But Unforgiven was pretty good. Had Gene Hackman. He gives a really good performance. Morgan Freeman, as always, does a great performance. I really like Clint Eastwood, and he does a great job directing and acting in this film. And Richard Harris also does a pretty good job as English Bob. So everyone in this film is pretty good. I really enjoy this film. I really like Westerns, and this is not my favorite Western. Not my favorite Western with Clint Eastwood. Might be my favorite Western with Morgan Freeman, because I can't think of any other Westerns with Morgan Freeman in it. Can you, Benji?
No, I can't.
Anyways, it has a really good cast. Really nice and enjoyable to watch. That kid guy also does a pretty good job. I can't remember what his name is, but he does a really good job as that kid guy.
The blind.
But yes. What would you give it out of 10?
The 10 out of 10.
The 10 out of 10s?
I'd give him out of 10.
Yeah, so Unforgiven, pretty good. What did you give it out of 10, Benji? Sorry.
10 out of 10.
I'd give it a 9 out of 10. I don't know, there's just something that didn't really seem like Best Picture to me. I mean, it was a bit slow. Wasn't enough gunfights. The gunfight at the end was pretty good, but there just wasn't enough gunfights in it, and it seemed like not a lot of stuff happened in it, you know? Uh-huh. Which is, like, one of the reasons why I like The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly so much is because they go on some really big adventure. But the thing is, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly is 3 hours, and Unforgiven is 2 hours. So that's a whole extra hour that The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly has to work with, while Unforgiven doesn't. So, yes, Unforgiven, I'd give it a 9 out of 10. You give it a 10 out of 10. I'd recommend you watch it, of course. Clint Eastwood's great. So, yes, on to the third movie on our list is Spotlight. As we said, this is the first movie in 60 years to only have 2 Oscars and have Best Picture. That is including Best Picture and the 2 Oscars. So, what were your opinions on Spotlight, Benji?
I liked it. I don't really have anything else to say about it. I just liked it.
You just liked it?
It's pretty heavy.
Yeah, a bit like Good Will Hunting. This movie's pretty heavy. However, unlike Good Will Hunting, which does have a sort of comedic sort of thing to it, this movie is about Catholic Church's sort of, what was it? Child abuse, child molestation scandal, which is a pretty heavy topic, and it might be a bit disturbing, especially if you're Catholic. It's about, like, Catholic priests molesting children, which is not a very pleasant topic. So unlike some other films on our list that were a bit lighter, maybe a bit more enjoyable, this film is not very enjoyable to watch. I did, however, think it was a very good film, made very well. The acting in it is very good. And I'm going to give this film a 10 out of 10. Michael Keaton, starring in 2 Best Picture winners in a row. Pretty good, in my opinion. Mark Ruffalo the Buffalo. He does a pretty good job. That girl, I can't remember her name, and the other guys in that movie.
That girl?
Yeah. It was a pretty big ensemble cast. I'm not going to go through all of them, but just those are the people that I really liked in that movie. And, yeah, pretty good. The writing was really good. It won an Oscar for that. And do I think it was Best Picture, which is what I think everyone wants to hear my opinion on. Do I think it was the best movie to come out this year? And my opinion is, yes, I do. It was really good. It was better than The Martian. A lot better than Mad Max Fury Road. We're going to watch that and review that, and that episode is probably going to be an hour long, because we have a long list of complaints with Mad Max Fury Road, don't we, Benji?
Yes.
Very long list of complaints with Mad Max Fury Road. So we're very upset that won 6 Oscars. Not very upset, I mean...
At least it didn't win any, like, big Oscars.
It only won technical things. I mean, like, can you remember who won any of the Oscars Mad Max won last year? Maybe a couple, if that. What about the year before that? Probably not. But, yeah. Mad Max, one of too many. Spotlight, though, was really good. I'm very glad that won Best Picture. My only problem with it is that it is a bit too Oscar-y for me. I mean, it really is like an Oscar film. But at the same time, I really enjoyed it. So it was really good. I definitely recommend you watch it. Unless you don't want to watch, like, a very heavy film. Which I can understand. I mean, this film is pretty heavy, you know, with the whole child molestation and everything. But it takes place in, like, a newspaper. And I really like these journalistic movies. I mean, like, we talked about All the President's Men earlier on, and I really enjoyed All the President's Men. And Citizen Kane as well. I love Citizen Kane. And that movie is also sort of about newspapers and stuff. And I don't know, just that sort of a genre that I really like, newspaper movies, which is really silly whenever you talk about it, you know?
Uh-huh.
What's your favorite type of film? Probably newspaper movies. Yeah, that's my favorite, newspaper movies. Anyways, so Spotlight was pretty good. So I went from only 2 Oscars to 11 Oscars with Titanic. I liked Titanic. What was your opinion on Titanic, Benji?
It was good. Sad.
It was sad. I would be playing the Titanic theme on the flute right now, but I don't know how to. So, yeah. I have my flute right here.
Can you play the Braveheart theme for them?
There's like a bunch of like little bars on the sound thing, and it just went into like giant stuff.
I know.
Flute playing.
What you're talking about.
Yeah, that was my rendition of the Braveheart theme. Okay, let's stop playing for the. It's probably killing your ears right now. Anyways, we. Achoo! Oh my gosh. Okay. Can we talk about the movie now, please? Benji, can we?
Yeah, what movie was it?
Titanic.
Oh, yeah.
So, Titanic was pretty good. I mean, one of the highest grossing films of all time. Titanic did pretty well at the box office. It also did pretty well at the Oscars, winning 11 of them. And it also did pretty good in our hearts. Yeah, okay. Let's actually talk about the movie now. Titanic is about a guy who goes on a boat, and then he meets this girl.
No. He plays poker, and then he
goes on a plays boat? Poker, and then he goes on the boat after playing poker, and then once he's on the boat...
But he's gotta go to the boat real quick.
Yeah, he has to run to the boat really quickly. And so then, once he runs to the boat, he meets the girl who's about to jump off the edge. But then he saves the girl, but then she falls off the edge anyways. And then
And then he's arrested.
And then he's arrested for saving the girl from the edge. But then she's like, no. He was my savior. Yeah. And I slipped off the edge.
I was totally not killing myself.
Yeah, I was totally not going to kill myself. And he saved me. And then they have dinner together. And
then he draws a picture.
No, that's a bit later.
Oh, that's later? What?
Yeah, and then, actually, I can't remember, like, anything that happens between dinner and the picture. This film is really long, and there's a lot they could have cut out. I mean, this film is...
spit or something?
And then they did, like, they spit a little bit, right? That happened in, and then he draws the picture.
Then he showed her some of the pictures.
Yeah, he showed her the pictures first. That was before the dinner. And then they drew the picture, which was my favorite scene in the movie, of course. Was it your favorite scene, Benji?
Yeah.
No, it was Benji's favorite scene, because Benji loves those scenes in those movies. And so then they draw the picture, and then they go into the car, and then the people are looking at them on the boat, and then there's like, iceberg, ahead! And then they run into the iceberg, and then they all die. And then it turns out that she actually lived. And this is all just a retelling back to Bill Paxton, who is searching for the really big diamond, and then she throws it into the ocean, because she's a jerk. And that was Titanic. So,
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. On to Rain Man. Rain Man was pretty good. Dustin Hoffman, are we seriously going to skip Titanic, Benji?
What do you mean?
Are we seriously going to just go on to Rain Man now?
Yeah, why not? I mean, we just did Titanic.
But we didn't talk about what we liked about it.
Because I liked... It had good...
Boobies.
Yeah. Okay, on to Rain Man.
Seriously though, let's talk about Titanic a little bit. It was pretty good. The music was pretty good. The My Heart Will Go On song was pretty good. It was 3 hours and 14 minutes. It was a little bit long. It won 11 Oscars. I don't think it should have won 11 Oscars, because that's that's like the most amount of Oscars any film has ever won. But it was still pretty good. Leo does a pretty good job. It won 11.
Oh.
And then Kate Winslet did a pretty good job. I think that's how you say her name. I don't know.
I don't know.
Mom will tell us whether or not that was wrong.
And the guy who played Poker did a good job, too. What was his name
Fabrizio. He's like the Italian guy, right?
Yeah.
And then the Irish guy got shot. We totally forgot about that. And then the guy shot himself. And then, like...
And he fell off the boat.
And he fell off the boat, yeah. And then they were like, oh no, how are we going to shoot the evil sea dolphins with no gun? Oh no, now the evil sea dolphins have the gun, right? Wasn't that in the movie?
Uh-huh, yeah. Then they started shooting everybody on the boat.
No, the dolphins, they saw the dolphins. That was evil foreshadowing, right? Whenever they were looking at the dolphins that were totally fake.
I got it. I know what the dolphins did. The dolphins moved the iceberg in the way so they could kill everybody. and then, Leonardo DiCaprio, he swam all through the icy waters and survived. Definitely did not die from coldness.
Yeah, anyways.
Remember that part?
So anyways, on to some criticisms of Titanic. There was like 20 minutes of them trying to fake us out into thinking Kate Winslet was gonna die. I don't remember. It was Rose, right? That was her name. I said it like 70 times and I still can't remember it. I spent like 20 minutes with them trying to fake us into thinking she was gonna die. But she's telling us the story. We know that she's not going to die. And that could have been cut out, right? I mean, it could have been reduced. I mean, this movie is 3 hours and 14 minutes.
But I like that part.
That part was good, yes, but the spitting scene could have been removed, right?
Why the heck did they have the spitting scene?
Yeah, I mean, like, this film is 3 hours and 14 minutes long, There's just certain parts that they could have cut out. Anyways, it was pretty good. 10 out of 10. On to Rain Man. Rain Man was pretty good.
I already give it a 10 out of 10 whenever we were done, like, talking about, what happens in the movie. Yeah, so, Rain Man.
Rain Man. Rain Man.
I don't know.
Rain Man.
I don't know.
VERN.
BURN.
VERN. Anyways, Rain Man was pretty good. Dustin Hoffman does a great job. He won an Oscar for that.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise also does a pretty good job. Like that girl does a pretty good job. Don't remember what her name was in the movie or in real life. But there's like the Babbitts. There's the rabbits, right? Isn't that what their name is? The rabbits?
Yeah.
The rabbits.
Their dad dies, and then...
Their dad dies, and then they go on an adventure, and they try to take the airplane, but the airplane won't go because it's crashed, right? And then they're like, we need to go on Qantas, because Qantas is the only one that doesn't have any crashes.
Well, Qantas isn't here.
Qantas doesn't have any crashes. And then they're like, but the only way to get from Los Angeles is from Melbourne, Australia. And we're not going to fly to Australia, because you got to swim to Australia, right? Isn't that what Leo did in Titanic, right? He swam all the way from Australia.
I think, or something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
And he totally didn't die, yeah. I remember that part.
Yeah, I remember that part too.
Yeah, where he doesn't die.
Anyways, this movie was pretty good. Dustin Hoffman does a really good job as sort of an autistic savant. I think is how that's pronounced. I don't know. The whole card counting thing was also pretty good.
What did you do?
I liked it. 10 out of 10.
Cards.
I don't really have anything more to say. I've been talking for 20 minutes. My throat's actually a bit dry. Can I get some water, please?
Go into the sink.
I don't want to get dirty sink water. Anyways, this has been CCCLXVI. We've been talking for way too long. And, this is over. Yo, Adrian! Bye.
So long, I've been Benji.
I've been Ethan.
Bye.
Yo, Adrian.